Hey everybody, welcome back around to the blog and grill. I'm your host Doug here with your video blog for November 19th, 2014. I have a great blog planned for you today. I'm going to give you another article on another website to definitely check out. It is a good one. We'll do our New York sports update. We'll do our college football Heisman watch update, and we'll also talk about the new rankings that were released, NFL power rankings as well. But first I want to get to the Adrian Peterson news. Yesterday, of course, the big news out of the NFL, Adrian Peterson suspended for the remainder of the year and will not be available for reinstatement until April 15th of next year. Of course, you remember Adrian Peterson was indicted after punishing his son, as he said, with a switch. Just some very obscene and inappropriate details about this situation, and it became a very politically based thing of Democrat, Republican, discipline your child not culture. It just became a huge issue. Roger Goodell, of course, that came right after the Ray Rice issue, and now Roger Goodell dropped the hammer on him after he reached a plea deal, paid a $4,000 fine in Texas, and now he will miss the remainder of the year. But the big question is, will he? Because now Adrian Peterson has filed an appeal with the NFL Players Association against Roger Goodell. And I think the main issue here is that there's a few main issues we got to talk about. The first main issue has to be with the NFL if they made the right decision. And I think the NFL did make the right decision, but I think they need to set up an oversight committee over punishment issues. I think Roger Goodell has been given too much power, but the players gave him that power in collective bargaining. So I don't know if the players really have a legitimate gripe. They wanted more money, and they wanted to have less practice time to spend that money, and they gave up power of punishment, okay? They gave Roger Goodell the power to be the 100% punisher in the National Football League, okay? And, I mean, it's tough for Goodell, too, because before Ray Rice, he was too lenient. Now he's too harsh with Adrian Peterson. It's really tough to say what's going to go on with this. I think another aspect of it is even if this appeal is heard, will the Vikings even play him, okay? And I think this boils down to a deeper issue within organizations in the NFL. I think it comes down to a big-time fear-based thing with insecure franchises, okay? Let's just think back to the past couple, let's think back to two major scandals, two major players that had issues over the past year to year and a half, okay? First, we had Aaron Hernandez with the New England Patriots. He is currently in jail facing murder charges, and the Patriots got rid of him immediately, just ate the money and got rid of him. Ray Rice, same thing. He gets in trouble, punches his girlfriend in the elevator, knocks her out. The video comes out. Ray Rice, immediately off the team, just gone, okay? I think it speaks to the great organizational structure of both the Patriots and the Ravens, to get rid of those two guys and just be like, all right, we're moving on. Because they have stability, good ownership, good general manager, good quarterback, okay? And in Minnesota right now, your ownership is questionable, your coach in Mike Zimmer is unproven, and you don't have a legitimate quarterback right now in Teddy Bridgewater, okay? So the front office is a mess, the coach is new, and the quarterback is young. This team is dysfunctional for sure, and this speaks to a bigger issue with this right now, that they probably would play him against the Green Bay Packers this week, and that would not be good for the NFL. All right, we'll follow this case as it continues, but right now let's do our NFL power rankings. Coming at number 5 this week, Dallas Cowboys 7-3, off a bye, getting healthy. I think we'll see them play a little bit better. Number 4 team, the Denver Broncos, starting to show some issues with the offensive line. We saw Julius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders go out with injuries. They could not really sustain any offense. Peyton Manning got hit. Denver, number 4. Number 3, the Green Bay Packers at 7-3. Green Bay probably has the top offense in the NFC right now, putting up 50 at will. Aaron Rodgers, a legitimate MVP candidate, and Green Bay right now is at 7-3. Number 2, the Arizona Cardinals at 9-1. I can't put them to number 1 yet because I'm still waiting to see what Drew Stanton will do over the long term. They beat probably the best defense in the National Football League last week in Detroit. Drew Stanton looks good. The defense is good. Special teams is excellent. Fourth quarters are great. Arizona is 9-1 at number 2. And number 1, the New England Patriots, 8-2, getting it done right now. And I think New England will stay at the top of these power rankings. They're the most complete team right now in the NFL, and we'll see what they can do going down the stretch. So that's my power rankings: New England, Arizona, Green Bay, Denver, and Dallas. All right, college football, the Heisman Watch update. And the Heisman Watch, I think, is really coming down to two guys, and I think a third guy could emerge. I think Dak Prescott is falling out of the race quickly. I think right now I would give it to Mariota at the top, the best player right now in college football. Melvin Gordon, though, out of Wisconsin after that 400-yard game, has to be throwing his name into the running. And the quarterback from Ohio State, J.T. Barrett, playing out of his mind right now, responsible for over 30 touchdowns. I'm giving J.T. Barrett a nod right now as a possible Heisman guy to make it to the finals in New York. All right, let's go to the new college football rankings, as Alabama is the new team atop the college football rankings. Oregon, number 2, Florida State, 3, Mississippi State, 4, TCU, 5, Ohio State, 6, Baylor, 7, Ole Miss, 8, and UCLA still sits at number 9. UCLA really coming on strong, a legitimate contender. I think they have a shot to maybe sneak in. They play number 19 USC this week, then Stanford, and if they can win both those games, they will be playing in the Pac-12 title game against number 2 Oregon. So big game for UCLA this week, taking on USC. If they can get that win, they might be able to sneak up into the top 7 or 8 of this poll. My top 5, of course, was Alabama, Oregon, Mississippi State, Florida State, so I just had those two teams switched. I think TCU and Baylor, and I think right now the teams I think have the biggest advantage in the top 10 have to be Ohio State and UCLA right now, because both those teams will play conference title games over instead of a TCU, a Baylor, and Ole Miss, and then likely a Mississippi State will not either if Alabama can win out. So that's what I think it's going to be right now. We got more big games this week. We'll talk more about the college football rankings on Monday. New York sports update. Rex Ryan has been fined $100,000 for the use of profanity. Syracuse will get ready to face Cal down at MSG tomorrow night. That'll be a tip right around 9 o'clock. Syracuse faces Cal in the 2K Classic. New York Knicks lose last night to the Milwaukee Bucks. A really tough game for the Knicks. Carmelo Anthony played well. Iman Shumpert really looked good as well. New York tonight is on the road in Minnesota. And the Yankees are trying to make a trade for a shortstop, but they don't want to give up starting pitching. Trade talk currently is breaking down with the Texas Rangers for Elvis Andrus because they want a lot of starting pitching. The Yankees have a lot of questions at starting pitching. And Alexi Ramirez trade talks break down as they look to trade him to the Dodgers. Article of the week is on theplayerstribune.com. That's Derek Jeter's new website. And Michael Carter-Williams writes a great article, and it's called Don't Talk to Me About Tanking. It discusses what happened last year, and Stephen A. Smith gave some pushback from this. You can check out some of that. But check it out, Don't Talk to Me About Tanking by Michael Carter-Williams. That is on theplayerstribune.com. I will post a link up to that article as well on my Facebook page and my Twitter, so check that out as well. Friday we'll be back. We'll do NFL picks. We'll talk big Saturday games, and we'll do a little college basketball and NBA. Check me out, sportsmindednews.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. Comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Grill. I'll be back on Friday. Have a good rest of the week.